Black bodies glisten in hot sunshine. Blood lets from open wombs and covers ghettos full of starving children, hungry for comfort, hungry for justice, hungry for liberation. Cooling libation comes in the formation of a party. Much needed relief dressed in black leather jackets and black berets, set atop fully nappy heads, furrowed brows, and focused dark eyes that seen too much to look the other way or turn the other cheek, a valiant rejection of meek-minded passivity that lulls the people to sleep. Working in concert with their oppressors in return for empty promises of equality somewhere on a distant horizon. The hollow sound of one entering the chamber demands freedom now and echoes through project houses, social service agencies, and government institutions. This was the promise of revolution. Demonized, glorified, feared, and rejected. No matter. The work moved forward with a single-minded focus on freedom. The people were thrilled, the politicians terrified, the world afire with love for black skin, black language, black music, black power. Sacrifice is so big, there is not enough room in my mind to overstand what you gave, what you built, how you wept, what you felt, how you strategized, what you organized, how you were attacked, and how you fought back. And all of what you lost. Your youth, your families, your friends, your freedom. You ignited the hopes of generations of black nations, inspired millions to stand tall and fearless in the face of an impossible enemy, to push through the sewage of capitalism, the scourge of racism, the lie of the American dream. You taught us to fiend for our freedom, to demand it at any cost, to reject any fear of loss, and to build across ideologies to imagine society where the underdog wins. Little black girls and little black boys saw you in their reflection, inspiring a rejection of Ken and Barbie in favor of Huey and Elaine, dreaming of being just like you someday. And I did too. Nappy-headed 7th grade me found you buried deep in a book placed high on a shelf in an empty library on a hot Vegas Sunday afternoon. I had learned about King and Parks in school, but there had been no mention of you. And as I studied, I started to bloom. To question authority, to challenge my teachers, to push back the narrative. Became less conscious of my hair and more politically aware. Built the courage to return stares of racist rednecks on Vegas streets whose hatred poured down their faces in Vegas heat. I stood brave inside your courage and tall inside your legacy. You carried me through and out of that God-forsaken town, landing me here, to your birthplace, where the heart of the Panther beats on. And I see you. I see your pain buried beneath personas you put on when you walk out your front door. I see wounded warriors speaking at rallies and being honored at dinners. I see strained budgets and bodies that push forward in spite of it all. I see new generations trying to emulate you and failing. We cannot be you. We can never be you. That was your time and your space. There is no turning back the clock. The way we honor you is to walk forward along the path that you have laid, praying with moving hands and feet while doing the work in your name.
In Oakland, 2 student activists at Merritt College, Huey Newton and Bobby Seale, are determined to create a revolutionary organization to address what they see as the problem of the racist power structure in America.
They chose this image of the Panther as the coolest cat in the jungle. It looked really sleek and was really cool, but would only fight when it was backed into the corner.
When the party says power to the people, we ain't jiving a pound. We say power to the people.
Give more power to the people.
Our slogan was about all power to all the people, a progressive people's community empowerment. That's what it was about.
We would say black power to black people, red power to red people, brown power to brown people, yellow power to yellow people. People ain't never heard that before.
It was an organization created not just to end police brutality, but the upliftment of all, as the term was then, poor and oppressed people in the world.
Having a philosophy of socialism was also a factor that was very frightening, because the example the Black Panther Party set in its socialist programs was a threat to the structure of capitalism in America and in the world, in fact. It was only the Panthers that were working with white groups and that was working with Mexicans and that was working with Puerto Ricans and that was working with the American Indians and that was working with the Asians. And all of those different groups imitated the Black Panther Party in their thing. The Brown Berets, they armed themselves to protect their community. AIM, the American Indian movement, or what we call Red Beret, they did the same thing. The Young Lords, they did the same thing. And the White Panthers, which people don't probably even know exists, they did the same thing. But the White Patriot Party, other groups did the same thing. They armed themselves and used the Black Panther Party as a template to do programs in their communities.
Examiner made a report back here, the last Sunday's paper, that we were anti-white, that we hold no bones, this is a quote, pick no bones about being anti-white. This is a bold-faced lie. We don't hate nobody because of their color. We hate oppression. We hate murder of black people in our communities.
Dear Huey, when I joined the party, I was thrilled about becoming part of an organization that believes in the equality of men and women. It bothers me that there are brothers who still view women as sexual objects. We should have no men in the Black Panther Party who feel this way, or women for that matter.
One of the ironies of the Black Panther Party is that the image is the black male with the jacket and the gun, but the reality is the majority of the rank and file by the end of the 60s are women.
Everybody knows that all the people don't have liberties, all the people don't have freedom, all the people don't have justice, and all the people don't have power, so that means none of us do.
The Black Panther Party certainly had a chauvinist tone, and so we tried to change some of the clear gender roles so that women had guns and men cooked breakfast for children. Did we overcome it? Of course we didn't. As I like to say, we didn't get these brothers from revolutionary heaven.
It was a rhythm. It was a rhythm to how we spoke. It was a rhythm to how we walked. And the people recognized that we stood outside of that on the street. They, ooh, that's a butt ugly person. Ooh, they ugly. But in the party, it was just something that gave them this tremendous sex appeal.
The Panthers didn't invent the idea of black is beautiful. People had started wearing afros and dashikis. But one of the things the Panthers did was that urban black is beautiful. And that look just blew people away.
If you were a young black man living in the city anywhere, you wanted to be like this. You wanted to dress like this, you wanted to act like this, you wanted to talk like this, you wanted to be this.
Am I black enough for you? Am I black enough for you? Am I black enough for you? Am I black enough for you?
This brother here, myself, all of us were born with our hair like this, and we just wear it like this. Reason for it, you might say, is like a new awareness among black people that their own natural appearance, physical appearance, is beautiful. Black people are aware now. They're proud of it. It's pleasing to them. Dig it? Isn't it beautiful? All right.
I got to stay black enough for you. I gotta stay black enough for you. We're gonna move on up, we ain't never gonna suffer no more. I got to stay black enough for you. I got my black enough.
Photographers took advantage. I mean, they took our pictures, they put them on newspapers, they put them on magazines, and that look that we projected, you know, the big afro, the leather jacket, the shades, that became a hit. And obviously, photographers were drawn to the Panthers.
Well, we hear a great deal about the Black Panthers.
The Black Panthers were absolutely unique.
The Black Panthers. The Black Panthers like Panthers. Black Panther Party. Black Panther movement.
Black Panther Party.
Black Panthers.
I think the Black Panthers really understood the media. They knew what we were after. They knew what we were focusing on.
The Panthers has amounted to the Black Panther Party.
Many people know of the Panthers.
You might say that we exploited the Black Panthers, but I think there's a lot of evidence that they used us to their advantage. They were able to establish their legitimacy as a voice of protest.
The chairman of the Black Panther Party, and here he is.
We have a film of your breakfast program. Is this without sound also?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Would you comment on this?
Yes, I will. This is a free breakfast children program, and they're preparing the food there early in the morning. It's about 2 hours work in the morning. These party members primarily set this whole program up, and then we involve as many of the community people as we can.
The paper was the lifeblood of the party. That's how we survived. We sold the papers, 25 cents back then. It cost maybe 12 cents to print it. The other 12.5 cents went to the various chapters and branches. That's how we basically survived.
The party paper went places party members would never get to go to, and reaching people we would never see. But the paper got there some kind of way or other. So it was very important to get the paper out.
Los Angeles, 2,850. New Haven, 3,000.
When we were loading boxes or bundling papers or whatever we were doing, we did it in an assembly line fashion. And we would just start singing, you know, ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough to keep me from getting this paper to you, or whatever we would do. We would change the lyric just a little bit, you know, it's your thing, do what you want to do. Why they can't tell me what and then we'd, you know, what to do.
In the paper, everything came together. You had the platform, the 10-point platform was in there. You know, it's the first thing you see when you open up the paper.
We want to end to the robbery by the white man of our black community. That's what we're talking about, like number 3. Number 4, we want decent housing, fit for shelter, human beings. You dig? And then we want education.
It explained who we were and what we were about, what our goals were.
Tell me, ma'am, do you read the Black Panther Party newspaper?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because I am black and I'm proud.
What do you like best about the paper?
Because they are proud people and I love them.
We were so young and so dedicated.
The art that I was doing in the Marine Corps was to help kill people. I felt like the art that I was doing in the Black Panther Party was trying to save people.
There was content to every piece that we did, and it was saying something.
To fight hunger, to fight injustice, to get health services. The Black Panther Party is a place where you came to solve problems and help the community.
Here was art about everyday people.
Art may have been provocative, but it wasn't distorted interpretation. It was a provocative interpretation.
Black is you, black is me, black is us, black is free. Black is me, black is me, black is us, black is free. Black is us, black is me, black is us, black is free. Black is free, black is me, black is us, black is free.
For me, there was only one reason to read the Panther newspaper, and that was to see Emory's illustrations. His paintings, his caricatures, his illustrations literally gave us the story.
Black is you, black is me, black is us, black is free. Black is me, black is me, black is us, black is free. Black is us, black is me, black is us, black is free. Black is free.
The community would respond to the artwork because it was a reflection of them in the artwork itself. Because you're putting them on the stage as the characters and the heroes in the images. They could see their brother or they could see their uncle in the images.
Black is me, black is me, black is us, black is free. Black is us, black is me, black is us, black is free. Black is you, black is me, black is us.
Through the breakfast programs, through the other programs that we had, health clinics, people come in and talk about how they can't pay their bills or they need child care. That teardrop symbolized that pain that I observed even through that pain, there was this strength and determination and conviction to still battle on. So I was trying to put that into the artwork itself.
Black is us. Black is me. Black is us. Black is free. Black is free. Black is me. Black is
Emory was our social realism. He gave you a sense of bravery, resilience, courage, and most of all, beauty. That was what I loved about Emory.
Black is me. Black is us. Black is free. Black is me. Black is me. Black is us. Black is free. Black is us. Black is me. Black is us. Black is free. Black is free.
My name is Emory Douglas, and I consider myself to be a social justice designer, graphic designer. Graphic design grabbed me when I really got involved with the Black Panther Party. I was asked to come to a meeting, and they wanted me to do the artwork for that event, which was a simple poster graphic of Malcolm X.
I'm speaking as a black man from America, which is a racist society.
They had a whole vision about starting a newspaper and telling our story from our perspective. And I knew that's what I wanted to be a part of and was assigned to doing the publication. You have this great foundation of social justice activism that was unique to California during that time. So you have a history of it, an artwork that was a reflection of that. We used to work out of studio apartments initially, before we had a headquarters. We had like portable operations. We could shift from anywhere.
There was no production office. There was no press that they were working at. They were working in people's bedrooms, living rooms.
We would use natural light from the windows, just regular tables, or we might, if we had to have two of those horses, set up a smooth door, use that as our layout table. Whatever was accessible to us, we would use that. At first, I was doing production work, cutting and pasting things together. Then I was given the green light to begin to do graphic artwork for the front and back pages of the paper, but also having design elements within the context of the spreads in the paper as well.
He was also responsible for logo design, poster design, flyers, booklets, their 10-point plan, and the manifesto that they would distribute.
When it first initially started, it was small, but as it evolved and grew, at its height, it was 100,000. It had a peak readership of 400,000, and it was taken all over the world. So the paper was a lifeline to the community.
At its height, the Black Panther newspaper had the highest circulation of any publication in the United States. It was a powerful influence.
Black Panther Party is informing and calling on all the peoples of the communities across the country to scorn and denounce the action of this capitalistic government's attempts to try to destroy the Black Panther Party, which has chapters and branches all across the nation.
So Emory Douglas gets positioned as a graphic activist, but also their minister of visual culture. And his role is really to not only be an activist, but to transform the visual language of the Black Panther newspaper, which was a really vital publication that was used to inform the community of these sort of changing pressures from police and discrimination to talk about issues of housing, human rights,
health clinics, education, free breakfast for school kids, self-determination, and the right to defend ourselves against injustice of all forms and by any means necessary, quality of life concerns. One of the points of our 10-point platform and program is we want decent housing fit for the shelter of human beings. I began to do illustrations around that issue and in relationship to rent control and the conditions the poor people had to live in with dilapidated houses, infested with rodents and all of these things. So I tried to apply that into that artwork
Emory Douglas saw that in order to get people excited about a message, it really took something visually engaging and interesting.
See, the art was more of not a me art, but a we art.
It wasn't specifically about one's own personal self-expression around an issue. It was about understanding what was useful to win a campaign and invite people into that conversation and move the needle on a particular issue.
Is this the pamphlet you're talking about? Read it. The pamphlet says that the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense calls on the American people in general to take careful note of the racist California legislature. Why do you believe the legislature is racist?
Because you know, you're a part of it, and you're obviously, it's a white system. This is obviously where we at. So.
Do you believe everything that's in that pamphlet?
The pamphlet speaks for itself.
Some of my colleagues who worked in the Black Panther New York chapter mentioned that they used to sell the paper each week by turning it over on the back because people wanted to see the illustrations.
And that could easily be translated into posters that could be hung up in the streets. In fact, he called the neighborhoods where he lived his gallery. So really felt like it was important that this work really was out in the street and was being read by people in the community.
You had a lot of rebellions took place in the 60s. A lot of police murders like it is today, always being justified. Most of the inspiration was the listening to the people and what their feelings were, their expressions were. I always was looking at political art. I mean, the art that came out of Cuba was amazing. They used to have some of the rays and some of the art that they were doing in solidarity with people's struggles around the world. So it was kind of inspired by that.
The iconography of sun rays is a useful way to show movement forward and resiliency. We're very good at articulating what we're against, but how do we articulate what we're for? What is a vision for the community that we want to build?
You had this whole climate of young people wanting to do something, make a change all over the world. It transcended borders.
The Black Panther Party proudly joins hands with the liberation movements of the Third World.
David D. Babylon. Otis Cleaver, Afro-American. Emory Douglas, Afro-American.
Emory used a kind of visual language that made the struggle of Black people universal.
He was representing what was the message of the Black Panthers of the time. It's not just about strength and power, but there's a lot of humanity in it. He was trying to depict people from his life, from his community.
He was showing himself, he was showing his sister, his neighbor, in a way that hadn't really been shown before. There's also this emotion of pain that's underneath the graphics, and I really feel like Emory and the Black Panthers were at this point of enough is enough.
We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. That I am a revolutionary.
In 1972, when members from all the offices were called to converge in Oakland, we came down. So this is a return to Oakland for me. They tried me out in a couple of places, and then they found out that I was an artist. And so I started working really early in 72 at in the graphic arts department with Emory and his guidance. Some of my images are in the middle of the paper. Some of my images are in the front. Most of them, though, are on the back pages.
Sister named Gail Asali Dixon started working with Emory and our Ministry of Information. This is some of her work that she produced, and I think she worked, her artwork appeared on the back of the Black Panther paper for maybe 5 or 6 years, right? And her artwork is a kind of a softer touch. Her focus is like women, senior citizens, young kids. This is another piece of her work. And this says, I'm against war, the war in Vietnam. I'm for African liberation, voter registration, and for people's survival. You know, she's portraying a strong sister She believes in African liberation. She believes that if we need to register to vote so we can have our representatives represent us. This particular artwork was done by a brother named Malik Edwards. Malik is a brother who came to the party from the Vietnam War, worked in the DC office, and we discovered he had skills, and we transferred him to national headquarters, and he began working with Emory.
The art that I was doing in the Marine Corps was to help kill people. And I felt like the art that I was doing in the Black Panther Party was trying to save people. My art tried to reflect that. I do a lot of stuff about thought and thinking and trying to get people to really be reasonable in their thinking and what they're gonna do. Because a lot of times, if you do stuff based on anger, well, what happens when the anger goes away? But if you thought about it, so all your moves is not about anger, it's about getting a result. Back in the 60s, in the early 70s, literacy was a problem in a lot of communities, and well, it still is today. So we had to make sure we made our point with every drawing we did. And then not only that, we believe in educate to liberate. Here was art about everyday people like my grandmother, people like my mother, my aunts and uncles. You could see them and see regular people in the art. These weren't the glamorous, well-coiffed, beautiful people. These were like my people. These were the people I knew and loved.
There was an emotional connection to me in the picture. This one here, we have experienced a bitter life with dark and hungry days filled with pain. Now we the people are demanding a change. Some of us maybe had some really bad experiences. Some of us had maybe middle class experience. It didn't matter. What we knew was that there was injustice in this country.
And then it was just so fulfilling to be able to use your art in that way. That every day you got up and you drew a picture, you did a flyer, you did a poster, it meant something. And it was gonna have an effect on the community. We used to have guns in every drawing. And then Huey said, look, people aren't ready for revolution. So we took the guns out of the paper. And then we just talking about social issues, serving the people, and our art changed. It wasn't guns anymore. We were talking about what was going on, about voting. When we were doing the pages on sickle cell anemia, I mean, that was a national movement to inform people about sickle cell anemia.
This became a stand. There were like cerebral palsy and the March of Dimes and polio. You would go into black liquor stores and stuff like that and see this stand there and with the thing, and people put money in there.
There's a blessing in being a member of the Black Panther Party that, of course, I didn't realize for a long time. Understanding my drawings, that they weren't just drawings or they just weren't art for art's sake. They had meaning, they had content, they had purpose. It helped me to understand the world around me. And then I began the journey within.
Well, the Black Panther Party definitely made a difference because, like, there's free breakfast program here. There's free lunch here. There's a clinic, a free clinic attached to this school. Community service is a part of colleges now. You know, you have to go out and do community service. So there are things that are still around that we left, but we just never believed we couldn't. We wasn't thinking about failure. We was always thinking about success. We never thought that we were gonna fail at anything. We just started doing it.
It made a difference, yes. The dynamics today is uniquely different as well. But it left a blueprint to be inspired by, to be inspired with, but not necessarily to duplicate it, you know, because you're in a whole nother dynamic, a whole nother world of things that exist today. But as much as things change, some things stay the same. You know. Huey would come over, check out, see how things were going with the paper, those kinds of things, and talk about confrontations or standoffs they had that day, patrolling the community, observing the police abuse, harassment of young people in the neighborhood. They call them pigs and swines and those kinds. So he brought me an image of a pig on 4 hooks and said, we want to put this image in the paper each week, and we want to put the badge number on this pig and the badge number of the police who are intimidating and violating their rights, people's rights in the community.
The initial icon was a pig drawing, symbolizing the authority who were abusing their power in the community, particularly the local police at that time. A white police force, a lot of them being from Oakland during that time, were being recruited from the South, who were members of the Klan and all those things that took place. So the first pig I did was one on the 4 hoofs. It just came to me one night, why don't I stand it up on 2 hoofs? Put a bandolier, gun bandolier on it with the holster and the badge and the flies around it, and that became the symbol, icon of the pig. It took on a life of its own.
That rhetoric didn't bother us when it was spoken by the Panthers. But when it was picked up by college students, them saying it, that definitely bothered us.
I was a sergeant patrolling in the projects, and there was a cutest little girl. So I stopped to say hello, and I said, "Hi, honey, how are you doing today?" And she looked at me and she said, "Fuck you, pig." And I thought, we have lost it, man. We have flat lost it.
As the Panthers gained members, they moved directly into the sights of FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover, who declares them the greatest threat to the internal security of the United States.
The late 60s, Hoover ordered the FBI to start an aggressive campaign against the Black Panther Party. No one could question his authority, and if they did, they're gone.
Formed in 1957 to target communists, Hoover's counterintelligence program, known as COINTELPRO, is now aimed directly at the Panthers.
We were being infiltrated at a rapid rate. Every 4 or 5 people was an FBI informant.
Hoover saw any form of black organizing as a threat to the status quo as he saw it. Change that would have involved equality, that would have put power in black people's hands, was very much a threat to Hoover.
The purpose of this new counterintelligence endeavor is to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize the activities of black nationalists.
Neutralize could mean making somebody an informant, or putting somebody in jail, or having somebody killed. Hoover was sending letters to various offices almost on a weekly basis to come up with new ideas to go after members of the Black Panther Party.
"245 of the 290 COINTELPRO actions were against the Black Panthers. One of the mandates was, do not make this program public. Do not tell anybody that it exists.
FBI has a memo that states the objectives of counterintelligence operations. One is to prevent the rise of what they call the Black Messiah, a single charismatic leader that could unify the movement. They want to prevent the appeal of radical political movement to black youth.
And they wanted to isolate these groups to prevent them from gaining respectability in the black community.
And they were very explicit in stating these goals.
We were followed every day. We were harassed. Our phones were tapped. Our families were harassed. My parents were both visited by the FBI.
We must create suspicion with respect to their respective spouses, and your imagination and resourcefulness must be employed in order for the Bureau to be successful.
Nixon is elected with a sense of a mandate to crack down, and he feels that it is his personal charge after the '68 election to repress.
This is a nation of laws, and as Abraham Lincoln has said, no one is above the law, no one is below the law, and we're going to enforce the law, and Americans should remember that if we're going to have law and order.
The Nixon administration gives J. Edgar Hoover even more of a sense that he can repress without restriction.
Do you feel the nation is in trouble?
I think very definitely it is.
Well, what is the answer?
The answer is vigorous law enforcement.
That's the only answer?
That's the only answer.
How about justice? You hear a lot about justice with law enforcement.
Justice is merely incidental to law and order.
FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover today asserted that the Black Panthers represent the greatest internal threat to the nation. Hoover said the Panthers have perpetrated numerous assaults on police and have engaged in violent confrontations throughout the country.
When Hoover identified the Black Panther Party as the #1 threat to the national security of the United States at a time when they're fighting in Vietnam, of course that was crazy, but it was politically very effective. And it says to law enforcement at the local level, we can take the gloves off now. We don't have to respect the civil liberties.
They created a conspiracy case that allowed them to arrest the entire leadership of the New York City Black Panther Party.
A New York grand jury has indicted 21 alleged Black Panthers on charges of plotting several bombings in the city tomorrow.
On April 2nd, 1969, in pre-dawn raids, 21 Black Panthers were charged with all kinds of terrorist activity.
These are some of the men the police are accusing of being involved in the plot which could have wounded or killed scores of busy New Yorkers. 12 men were arrested today, 2 are already in jail, and 7 more are still at large.
After a 13-month trial where New York State spent millions of dollars and put dozens of witnesses and hundreds of pieces of evidence, a jury deliberated for 3 hours.
The jury have considered all the counts and charges against the defendants and have found them not guilty.
There were 156 not guilty verdicts. It was astonishing.
I was part of planning a demonstration against Vietnam at the 1968 Democratic Convention in Chicago. Bobby Seale was invited to speak.
Revolution in this country that's occurring is in fact people coming forth demand freedom.
He then left and didn't have anything to do with the demonstrations or riots or confrontations in Chicago, but he was arrested on the advice of the FBI, and he was later indicted for that speech.
Bobby Seale asked to postpone the trial till his lawyer, Charles Gary, could come to Chicago. The judge refused, and then Bobby said, well, I'll represent myself.
It started when Seale demanded to cross-examine a prosecution witness, accusing the judge of denying his constitutional rights to defend himself. The judge ordered him to sit down and be quiet, but the fiery Black Panther leader continued to cry out.
The judge told the marshals to hold him down, and that started several days of insanity.
He kept insisting on his right to represent himself, and a judge's response to that was to order the bailiffs to put gaffer tape over his mouth and tie him to his chair. I mean, it couldn't have been more definitive if they had put a sign on him saying slave. You know?
But it turned out Bobby could make noise and say things through the gang.
This medieval torture that's going on in this courtroom. This man wants to defend himself.
Police attached to the Cook County State's Attorney's Office raided a Chicago apartment shared by 2 high-ranking members of the Black Panther Party before dawn today. The police were acting on a tip that a supply of weapons was in the apartment.
The state's attorney recreated the layout of the Panther apartment and made arrangements for them to produce his version of what happened.
He stands up, I stepped over, and I put the foot out. Short burst, we realized that there are still some people remaining. And before I could get past the threshold, there were 3 shots fired from the rear bedroom.
The immediate, violent, criminal reaction of the occupants in shooting at announced police officers emphasizes the extreme viciousness of the Black Panther Party. So does their refusal to cease firing at the police officers when urged to do so several times.
When the 15-minute gun battle was over, 2 Black Panthers were dead. Police and Panthers differ about what happened.
In the apartment, we received no warning, no tear gas, nothing to offer us to surrender or come out.
Bullets start coming through the walls, plaster flying.
Saw bullets coming from, it looked like the front of the apartment, from the kitchen area. Pigs were just shooting.
This cop stepped to the door with a submachine gun, and all you could see was a silhouette. And the muzzle flashes as he fired, a fully automatic weapon into a room that was barely 6 feet wide.
I laid on top of Chairman Fred, and I could feel even through him the mattress vibrating.
You could feel the bullets going into it. I just knew we'd be dead, everybody in there.
Cop stepped back in and fired off another round, hit me in the hips.
Everything was like this. It was just going so fast.
We told them we were wounded, and they said, "Come out with your hands up."
One of them grabbed my robe, and they swung it open and said, "Oh, what do you know? We got a broad here." And then another one grabbed my hair and slung me into the kitchen area. I heard a voice say, "He's barely alive. He'll barely make it."
They started shooting again. I heard the sister scream. They stopped shooting. Pig said, "He's good and dead now."
When we lifted the mattress up to look underneath, 3 .45 caliber machine gun slugs fell out of the mattress. Only 1 shot came from a Panther weapon because Mark Clark, the young kid who answered the door, was shot in the heart as he answered the door, and the gun dropped and went off through the ceiling.
All of the splinters were coming into the apartment. So we said, this was a shoot-in. It wasn't a shootout.
There's gas that the police department uses as standard equipment that nobody can stand to stay in the room with it. They could have shot 4 canisters of gas in there and waited outside for everybody to come out.
And this was planned? This was a planned get for him?
All indications to me, personally, that this was obviously a political assassination.
I don't think anybody would have expected the police to commit just murder. It takes a certain kind of guy to carry that out. They lied about what happened that night. Much of what they said happened couldn't have happened the way they said it happened.
Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a pitchfork a pitchfork. Let's just say we know what a posse looked like
what a mob can do. We know about chasing ghosts. We know about finding ourselves in dark rooms. We know about safety in numbers. Let's admit that the town people ain't never been afraid of the giant, that the body has always been bigger than the head, that the power has always been with, of, and for the people. So let's just tell the truth. Let's just be honest. Let's talk back. Let's march to infirmary. Let's outline some points, and let us speak of police who will step over our sleeping children to shoot their fathers and ask why they woke, and ask why we have guns. We cannot forget how whales sound escaping from a siren or a boy. Let us call little Bobby's name. Let's call little Bobby's mama. Let's put her on the phone with Wanda Johnson or Sabrina Fulton. Let's talk about how easy it is to choke, how America's gravest mass shooting is durational, collective. Let's say Wounded Knee and never again. Let's say Move on HQ and never again. Let's say it in the same breath as Flint, in the same water as everywhere we have been drowned. Let's say America and mean necessarily the trail we wept to get here, the choppy ocean that fought to kill us. Let's say Los Angeles and Philadelphia and Accra, and mean the parts of the world who knew revolution as we did, black and impoverished and just coming back from a war like always. Let's talk about money, as if the first U.S. bailout wasn't stocked in the hull of a slave ship. Oh, but we ain't supposed to talk about that. We ain't supposed to talk about cotton. We ain't supposed to talk about that gin. We ain't supposed to talk about Jim Crow. We supposed to be post. We ain't supposed to ask for what's owed. We're supposed to be thankful to a tyrant. We supposed to kowtow. We supposed to back down. We supposed to not talk about our ache or what we've missed or how we ain't never had a language or a flag or even a proper family reunion. We are never going to know the names of the people who died for us to live in terror. Let us admit that the idea of Africa is still an offense punishable by death. We are not to dream of going home, not to speak of what has been stolen, not to feed our children, not even to let our hair take flight. We ain't supposed to do anything but die. Not nothing. We supposed to die. We supposed to not even know we supposed to die. We supposed to not speak that we know we're supposed to die. We're supposed to watch our sisters rub cracked chalk on their eyes. We're supposed to sit and eat stale crust and look on from the outside. What kind of party is that? Let's start our own. We're supposed to sit here and wait till somebody let us stop waiting on freedom like it's the whooping cough. Stop hoping freedom is gonna court us on a Thursday date night. Quit crossing our legs and biding our time and biting our nails. It's our birthright, and they will lie to us and tell us we are violent for wanting peace. Peace is our dowry. We wed to a democracy that keeps taking off its ring. We married to a decadent system that mocks squalor and honor. We saw what they do to our leaders. We see how they're trying to string us up. There are bodies on the asphalt. There are members in holding. There are lines drawn all around us, and they closing in tight. There's a courthouse. There's a free breakfast. There's Emory's pen. There are Tarika's fingers, Sonia's poems, and Bobby's plans in kitchen. There are instruments of light and joy. There are folks waiting on orders. There are children in the hallway singing songs about our mothers. These blues people in their black leather. There are teenagers sneaking into our meetings. There are old folks who are both afraid and resentful. They didn't do this first, but some did. Some dusted off their pistols and got right to it. Right here on Grover MLK. Right here on 10th Street. Right here out front of McClymonds and Merritt. Come on, real revolution. Come, real revolution. Come, real fire and fake alibi. Come some Sunday when some brother comes to with a visceral realization that he lost sanity to a country that would have his breath on a plaque, would have his head without thinking and mounted. He's either gonna wanna get even or get freedom. The whole universe stands to benefit if this black man is free. The truth of the matter is white folks' freedom depends on ours, and we've outgrown a binary that excludes all other comrades. We're talking about all the people, all the people, all the people. Let's take all the power, all the power, all the power, all the people, all the people, all the people, all the power, all the power, all power to the people.